and her 16-year-old son, Parker, are suing Parker's former friend, 20-year-old Daniel Rogers, for crashing their golf cart when he drove it drunk.
Order. All rise.
Yeah, it's case number 579 on the calendar in the matter of Kehoe versus Rogers.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mrs. Kehoe, you rented a room to this young man who had, I gather, been thrown out of your house when he was 18. Is that a fair statement?
Correct.
And I assume that he was told to leave his parents' home because he wasn't behaving appropriately.
Correct.
What was the nature of his social transgression?
Just too much partying, problems in school.
Did he have problems with drinking?
Yes.
Did he have problems with drugs?
Pot, yes.
And you thought it could better be handled in somebody else's home?
I've had a wife and a daughter there also. It was just time for him to leave.
When did he leave your house?
3 days after his 18th birthday.
Which was when?
February 10th.
Of 2007. How did you find Mrs. Kehoe's house?
I went to school with her son, Blake Kehoe.
Did you party with him?
Yeah, quite frequently.
You drink?
I'm not Blake.
Who are you?
I'm Parker.
You're another son?
Yes.
How old are you?
16.
Where's your older brother?
Tom?
At home.
Yes.
Did he have problems with drugs or alcohol, Mrs. Kehoe?
I would say no, not to my knowledge.
Well, if he didn't have problems with drugs and alcohol, why in the world would you take in a boy who did have problems with drugs and alcohol?
Well, at the time I met Daniel, I didn't know that he had problems with drugs or alcohol.
Didn't it strike you as odd that he was asked to leave his own home when he was 18?
Actually, he had been living with someone else. It wasn't right directly after he came out. He had lived with someone else.
Yes or no? It doesn't make a difference whether he had an interim place that makes it even worse. So he was thrown out of his own house when he was 18. Then he went and lived someplace else. That didn't work out. What I want to know is, didn't it occur to you to call his father and say, what's with your 18-year-old?
Actually, at the time, no, because Daniel had made lots of comments about his father that were probably not the nicest of comments, so I didn't see any reason to...
And you believed him?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I did.
In any event, this is what your case is about, Ms. Kehoe. You want $5,000 because you say that this young man, while he was drunk, took a golf cart that belonged to you, crashed it, damaged it severely, was taken to a repair shop. The repairs were $4,000. This young man did, in fact, pay towards those repairs how much?
$1,500.
And then he stopped paying. His father says, and he says, that you allowed alcohol to be served in your home. That's one of the reasons he was drunk when he got the golf cart, that you should have at least partial responsibility for serving alcohol or allowing alcohol to be served to minors who are living in your household, even if they are paying tenants. Mr. Rogers says you should be partially responsible yourself. What I don't understand, let's get to this part. What's your first name?
Daniel.
Let's say, Daniel, that you think Mrs. Kehoe should be partially responsible, and that the cost to fix the golf cart was $4,000. Why did you only pay $1,500?
I was trying to pay it back. I kept on paying it back, but then they finished the repairs on the golf cart, and then they said that they wanted all the money right then and there. So I went and I applied for a credit card or whatever just to pay off the rest of the fee. It was like another $3,000 for the remaining balance. And so I didn't get approved right now the way the economy is, me being 19. And so they put a mechanics lien on it and they sold it. So therefore...
They didn't sell it.
Well, that's what they told me, and they refused to accept payments.
They refused to accept any more money?
Yeah. My $100 payment a week, $400 a month. I only make $10 an hour, so...
And you were, in fact, paying?
Yeah, every week.
And it was your intention to pay the entire repair bill?
Yes, it was, originally.
Oh, well, so then I don't quite understand your answer. If it was your intention to continue to pay the other $3,000 because you felt responsible, correct?
Yeah, correct.
What changed your mind?
Well, they sold the golf cart. Well, they told me they're selling it, so I called Sherry and I asked her if I could pay her the $100 a week, just start over, and she refused, and then I got served. So that's what I'm doing here.
Oh, I see. Well, that changes the whole defense. You're ready to pay the money to get the golf cart.
Well, no, not necessarily anymore after going through all this.
But that's what you promised her.
Yeah,
Is that right,
originally.
Mr. Rogers? You told her you would pay for it.
Originally.
Yeah. Well, that was your agreement. And the only reason you didn't pay her is because you didn't get approved for a credit card.
Yeah, well, no, I called her and asked her if I could pay the $100 a week to her, $400 a month out of my check every week, and she refused.
Why did you refuse?
I could not pay the $100 to the golf cart company. They refused to take any more money except for a total amount. And I felt that if I was to accept the money from Daniel, I would not be able to get my golf cart back. So that's...
May I speak?
What do you have to do with this?
I was the one who came upon the golf cart. It was partially my golf cart.
It
That's
can't
what
be
I
partially your
drove
golf
around.
cart. A year ago, you were 15 years old.
That's what I drove around. We live in a gated community.
And?
And kids drive those around quite often. That's what they use, and I golf and stuff. When Randy and Daniel were the ones talking to the golf cart repair company, making all the payments, and they had agreed that they were going to make payments up until when the golf cart was done and finished. And then at that point, if the full amount had not been paid, his dad would pay in full, and he would have Daniel pay him back.
So?
No, never agreed to that.
So?
Yes, he did.
Who did the father make that agreement with?
He made that agreement with the owner of Prestige.
You can't tell me that. That person isn't here. That's hearsay.
Okay.
It's hearsay, but there's a statement. of
I don't
him.
read
All right.
statements.
Fine.
We're in a court.
Fine.
We're in a court. How much is owed on the golf cart?
The total to replace the golf cart right
I'm
now...
not replacing the golf cart. Did Daniel get beer in your house, Mrs. Kehoe?
Not to my knowledge, ma'am. I did not hand Daniel ever
I didn't
any
ask
beer.
you whether you handed
I
Daniel
had
anything.
beer in my home in my refrigerator.
Okay. You say there's a vending machine, Daniel?
Yes.
So explain to me the vending machine.
There's a vending machine downstairs full of beer, 4 different 30-packs.
And what was the vending machine for, Miss Kehoe?
It is an antique vending machine, ma'am.
Was
and
it full of beer?
Not full of beer. It had 2 beers, it had tons of sodas, and it had all kinds of snacks and candy.
It had beer in it.
Yes, it did.
All right. And who was the beer for?
My guests who come to my house, I live on a lake, and they come in through the bottom. And
But it was available, and it was clearly the beer that he drank and got drunk when he drove your golf cart.
That's not true. He wasn't in my house at all that day drinking. He was
Where
on
were
a
you
pontoon
drinking?
boat with somebody else.
Where were you
I
drinking?
was on a pontoon boat in the lake, yeah.
Where'd you get the beer from?
Well, I got some from the vending machine, and I had some that I just had obtained with somebody that's
What does
21.
that mean? Are you giving me the business? Don't
No,
give
I'm
me
not
the
giving you
business.
the business.
I don't like stupid, and I don't like the business. Do you understand?
Yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cheryl Kehoe says her son's former friend, Daniel Rogers, stole her golf cart and crashed it.
You were on a pontoon boat. Where did you get the beer from?
The vending machine.
I don't believe you.
No, I got it from the vending machine.
I don't believe
I
you.
did.
No, I don't believe you. Where's the other place you got the beer from?
I just had it.
What do you mean you just had it?
I don't really recall it that much. I was a little inebriated.
You got where I'm going.
Yeah.
Perfect. There's a mechanic's lien. There's a mechanic's lien
There
now?
was a mechanic's lien.
What do you
put
mean
on.
there was?
I was told that there was a mechanic's lien being put on the golf cart. I didn't receive an actual piece of paper because Prestige said that since it's not a registered DMV vehicle.
Don't tell me what they said.
Okay, I'm sorry.
As far as I have in these papers, there's been no sale of this golf cart. And I'm not replacing a golf cart for you. Do
No.
you understand that?
No, I
That's
have.
not happening.
I have
The sale value that they will sell us the golf cart for right now is $4,840.
It's not happening. The remainder that's owed to fix the golf cart, is how much after he paid his $1,500?
I don't know because they start
28.
charging $15 a day storage fees.
Then you can contest that. And I suggest you do it. What I want to know is how much is left and owing on fixing the golf cart?
28, 48, 88.
28, 48, 88?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000.
Your Honor, I have
That's all.
something here that I'd like you to see. That's from Mr. Rogers. He said that he never said that he would pay for it. He has a signed
He is
card.
he is going to pay for it, madam.
I'm just saying.
He is
Okay.
going to pay for it, $3,000.
But I
And
can't
in the
get my
event-
golf cart
and in
back
the
for
ev-
that.
I'm speaking.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
And in the event that Prestige Motorsport and Golf Cart declines to take this check, which will be made payable to them, not to you, which will be made payable to them, you have leave to come back to me. Do you understand?
Okay, so I take the check to them, and if they will not accept
And
it,
if
I
they
come
will
back.
not accept it, I would suggest to you that you get that in writing from them. If they decline to accept this from you, and then sue them for the return of your golf cart because they've been paid $4,500. I'll be delighted to hear the case. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you. That's all.
Thank you.
Judge, excuse you may step out.
They aren't being accountable for any of the injuries that he did get.
They stopped paying. They wouldn't pay the bulk amount of the fee.
There's a lot of shared responsibility in that, but they don't see it that way.
I didn't have the money to pay the bulk amount. to get the golf cart out.
You know, they smoke pot there, they drink.
I think it's ridiculous what their accusations are.
It's not a good environment to have kids around.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Peterson and Peterson versus Larwell and Peterson. Step forward.
Cindy Peterson and her son Greg are suing Greg's brother, Randy Peterson, and his fiancée, 18-year-old Amanda Larwell, for damage to their home as the result of domestic violence.
Mrs. Peterson, this is one of your sons whose name is?
Greg.
And you and Greg live together.
Yes, we do.
And this is your other son,
Yes, it is.
whose name is?
Randy,
And that's your girlfriend.
fiance.
Fiance. According to your complaint, Mrs. Peterson, your son Randy and his girlfriend moved in with you when you found out that you were pregnant. And it is your claim that the two of them, because of constant arguing between them and also with your other son, with Greg, caused damage to the apartment.
It's a house, yes.
Or at the house. They both deny that they caused any damage, and Miss Larwell is counterclaiming because she says that Greg, after the last argument, lost his temper and damaged her car by hitting it with his fists. That's your counterclaim.
Correct.
Who is this?
My mom.
Why didn't you move in with your mother?
I wasn't really living with my parents at the time.
Who were you living with?
I was living with friends.
How old are you?
18.
How long had you been living with friends?
For a few months, just after high school.
Why?
Because I wanted to be out on my own.
You wanted to be on your own to do what?
I just was ready to be independent.
You got dependent very quickly.
Accidents happen.
Tell me about the damage that they caused to the house. First, when did she move in?
Amanda moved in approximately January to February of 2008. Immediately after that, it was very tense, arguing. The day that we asked Amanda to leave the home, Randy opened a door in anger in leaving and put 2 holes in a wall. And also at the same time, when I was confronting them about it, I noticed a burn in the carpet in the room that they shared. I have an estimate from someone who was going to fix the property damage, but we ended up moving out before it was fixed.
When did you move out?
We moved out July 10th.
How much of a deposit did you leave the landlord?
$1,200 deposit.
Did you give the landlord notice pursuant to the lease, 30 days notice that you were moving
No,
out?
we were actually in the middle of being evicted.
Evicted for what?
For non-payment of the rent for 1 month. We had the rent, but she would not accept it.
Ms. Peterson, I'm dismissing your claim for damage to the house. Fast, because right now you have no damage. Right now, you were in breach of your lease that had absolutely nothing to do with the alleged damage that they did. I don't even have to hear that part of their explanation of whether they caused damage or not. You were being evicted. You hadn't paid rent.
Your Honor, we were only 3 weeks. We were 2 weeks behind
I
on the
don't
rent.
care. I don't care whether you're 2 weeks behind or 3 weeks behind. You were evicted. You were required to give 30 days notice. You didn't do it. They were going to withhold your security deposit anyway. You have a statement from the landlord?
No, we
Well,
cannot get a hold of her.
What do you want me to do? You think that I believe this baloney? You moved out. You lived off your security. You failed to give 30 days notice. Even if the landlord had been unsuccessful with regard to evicting you, you still have been responsible for 30 days notice. How much was your rent?
$1,160.
Your case is dismissed. Now let's get to your counterclaim. Nonsense.
Your Honor, we're still responsible for the damage. It's still
When the
gonna be-
landlord comes and sues you for the damage, you can come back. How about that?
Okay.
Fine. Landlord's not coming after you. The landlord took your security deposit for many reasons. A, because you didn't pay your rent for the last month that you lived there. And B, maybe because of this damage. But it all amounts to the same thing. Nonsense. You want to take the money and put it in your own pocket. I'm not going to do that.
No.
Now, there was an argument on May 19th. What was the argument about?
Him getting a job to start supporting our family.
Who was the argument between?
Me and him.
Why weren't you working?
I just didn't choose to work at the time.
Because they let him be lazy. And I wanted him to start being responsible because he's going to be a father. And that's what the argument was about. And that's when they butt in.
You were arguing with him and shouting to him that he better get a job.
Just that he better...
More than one part of his anatomy has to work, right? How old are you?
19.
When was the last time you worked?
Never.
Why not?
Didn't have to, I guess.
His mom didn't push him.
No, that's not his mother's fault. It's not his mother's fault. Comes to the point you have to stop blaming your mother. Okay, so now bad argument. They left the house.
We're trying to.
The allegation is Greg, that you were very angry and you went outside and you punched her car.
Yes, I did, but not just that. It was the arguing that had been going on all day, yes.
I don't care about the arguing all day.
And then they went to leave. They were on their leaving, and he jumped out of the car, ran up to my mom's car, a borrowed car, kicked it, and then I kicked their car.
So he kicked the car, and in retaliation, you went and kicked his car.
Mm-hmm.
You have to fix his car. He may have to fix your mother's friend's car. I don't know about that. Mother's friend
Your
isn't
Honor,
here.
The police were called, and they said to settle that civilly.
That's what we're here for.
I have the police report.
This is civil court. That's what we're here for. I don't know what you're smiling about. You made lots of bad choices, Miss Larwell. What kind of car do you have?
A Kia Rio.
What year?
2005.
Where did you get it from?
It's my mother's.
It's your car. Did you buy it for her, or did you buy it and she...
No, it was my car, but when I was in another town being pregnant, I wanted her to have a way to get around, so I let her use it. And we have pictures of the damage.
And I have a police report in the estimate.
Just let me see the pictures of the damage and the estimate. He has to pay for kicking the car. You must have a very high kick.
He was trying to break the window, and
That's not from a kick. That's from a...
He punched it.
he was punching and kicking. He was on a
Oh,
rage.
Greg.
I was protecting my mother because my brother was after my mom's car. I thought he was, who knows what he could have been at that point in time.
You were protecting your mother?
And her property.
Where was your mother?
I was at the door. We have text messages on here where she has threatened us.
I don't care. Listen, your mother wasn't in the car, was she?
No, but she was standing next to it
So what did you punch the car for?
for them punching my mother's car.
Oh, you're an idiot.
We were
This is a
moving.
family that should think twice about having a lot of children. Listen, that's ridiculous. When did you get a job?
In July.
In July. Doing what?
Painting.
Painting what?
Houses.
And who are you living with now?
Me and her have a house together.
Wonderful. And you're working?
No, I'm due in 2 weeks.
Did you work 2 months ago?
No.
3 months ago?
When I found out I was pregnant, I quit.
You quit?
Yeah, it was-
Oh, that's a good way of
He
being
said-
independent.
he said he
Ah,
was-
there you go. You want to stand on your own 4 feet. Judging for the defendant on the counterclaim for kicking the car in the amount of $2,114. That's all. The case is dismissed.
Excuse